everything is like new, tall buildings. Like next week there's like another skyscraper, and next week this one is torn down, you know, like this restaurant was here and now it's gone. Too bad, you know.
Hello everyone, my name is Adu and this is Ready Go Expat. In today's video, I asked some foreigners who live in China the question, what surprised you the most when you arrived in China? So if you want to find out what surprised expats in China, make sure to watch the video until the end. And if you like videos about life in different countries, expat life, and travel guides, subscribe to the channel. Ready? Go.
How different it was from other Asian countries. Like, I thought when I arrived here that part would not surprise me. Like, in that sense, I was overconfident because I had been living before in Korea, Nepal, so I was like, I got this. I was so grounded. China is an entire, like, it's another planet.
Yeah, the thing surprised me was that, they have a really vast transportation system here.
Honestly, what I think some of the things that surprised me most was the city streets. How, like, I had always heard stories about, what do they call it? Beautiful chaos, things like that. The way that scooters and bicyclists and drivers was surprising to me in the end, because I wasn't expecting people to look for potential openings between cars and then just, yep, that's where I'm gonna go. That I had a few heart-pounding moments in taxis the first couple days until I understood everybody drives that way, and so it is normal and people expect it. So you don't really get a lot of wrecks because of things like that.
As we all know, China had a huge economic boom back like 15 years ago, but I did not imagine it was like this, like cities, streets, buildings popping up overnight, the way everything is developed, you know, and it's developing in a like super fast way. That was like my biggest, like, what? In Europe that could never happen, you know, that way. Well, here, like, I went back home with my wife for a month. When I came back, they opened 2 brand new roads and a building popped up for 1 month.
People don't hug and don't kiss when they greet. And this was my first impact, because I struggled when I first got here. I was starving, I was dry because of, I wanted to drink water and I wanted to eat the first moment. And after a while trying to communicate with the woman, she understood me, so she gave me the water and the food and so on. In the place where my room and everything was set, and then I went close to her to give her a hug, and she like, but I could understand her.
I arrived here, I was so fascinated by the change of the climate that I experienced here. That was my first impression. I could feel the air is very different here, the smell of the air. It was very humid, and as if lots of plants are blossoming at the same time. It's like filled with all kinds of flavors and fragrance that I've never seen before, and I've never felt before. Then I started noticing that there are bicycles everywhere on the road, just in the bushes, everywhere, just dead rusting bicycles. And I've never seen anything, because we don't have any communal bicycle system in Russia. And I was like, whoa, why are there so many bicycles around? The way people dance in the streets all the time, the way people smile to themselves while walking by or singing songs or whistling some tunes. I found it really fascinating, because all of this creates this impression of a very chilled and relaxed lifestyle. And my idea during the first days being in China was that it's like a land of very happy and content people.
I think I thought China would be like more, I expected them to be like, not like the Kung Fu movies or something, but I thought there would be more like Buddhism and more like ancient traditions instead of, I guess I didn't realize like the impact of like the communist revolution here. So culturally, it really surprised me how like capitalistic they are, and how, I mean, that doesn't really have to do with like the communism thing, but like this kind of like special hybrid system that they have where they're like, everything is like new, tall buildings. Like next week, there's like another skyscraper, and next week, this one is torn down, you know, like this restaurant was here and now it's gone. Too bad, you know. Yeah, I think the like how fast paced it is, and how like if you really want to experience the like more traditional, like philosophical, like the tea drinking culture, or the like visiting temples that aren't just like kind of tourist spots, you have to go like farther out of the more populated areas. That was surprising.
How big it is. I'm from a small country. Obviously, while you're there, if you never left the country, you don't realize how small it is. However, when you come to like a country like China, then you realize like, oh my God, that thing is tiny. Like I remember, even now, I talk to my brothers, right? I told them that I take the bus for like 40 minutes or an hour to go to work, and they're always surprised. And to them, it's something like foreigner, like alien. Because back home, if you take the bus for like 10 minutes, it feels like a long time, because it's such a small country. And my island is like tiny.
Oh, security, man. That's. I know 92 countries, and even today, it's hard for me to believe that you can be in such a safe place in the world.
I guess what surprised me the most was how developed it is. Like everything is so like high tech and clean, and the urbanization of China is amazing. The buildings with lights and everything like high tech, you know, like paying using your phone, all this kind of technology that we would see like in sci-fi movies and so on. Now here's a reality, and I thought that was, you know, a shock. I had read about it, I had watched videos about it, but I didn't really think that it would be as it is. It was, you know, a big shock for me, and actually a very delightful surprise. I really enjoyed it.
How informal things in many ways are, like how dealings with businesses are. Another one that kind of surprised me the most is how much we brought our daughter with us. She's 2 years old, and how much of a sensation she kind of is. How everywhere we go we get stopped, and how many people take pictures of her. Me and my wife, we don't attract the attention as much as she does, and everybody just stops us and talks about the baby. And we haven't seen that reaction before, not in Mexico, not in the United States, not in the UK, not in Scotland, not anywhere else. That was really surprising.